Okay, and we are live. ¿Qué tal, everybody? Tuesday afternoon, 7:35 p.m. mainland Spain time. And with another Spain live update, we'll have a look at a couple of news stories that have caught my attention today, and also some of the comments that were left on yesterday's video. We'll also go into the chat section here as we normally do, and see what's happening in the chat section, some of the activity that is happening there, questions, what the general conversation is about. We'll have a look at that during the live stream. Remember to add to the chat section, feel free, and also to give the live stream a thumbs up if you like what I'm doing here. Remember that button is below, so hit the like button, please. Everything helps. Now, plenty of activity in the chat section already. Chris in the chat section saying that he had to rescue his thermometer from direct sunlight today, 5 p.m., 45 degrees, moved it into the shade, and it was showing a cool 35 at 5:30 p.m. A hot one today, he says. Where are you in Spain, Chris? Let us know. Steve says hundreds of flights being cancelled by EasyJet. Families not happy about that. Libby coming in talking about those flights being cancelled. CH saying raining today in London, wearing a cardigan and a small heater on. The complete opposite where I am today, CH. Very hot here. Mugger says, hello everyone. Hola Mugger. Hike Ranger coming in from Arizona. Patrick coming in from Fontana, California. 66 degrees there. I suppose that's California, CA. Chris is in the Valle del Sol. All right, there we go. That's the scorcher there. Alan coming in from the UK, I believe. Not an EasyJet. All right, good. Matt's coming in from Sweden. Tobias coming in from the States. So plenty of activity already in the chat section. Keep it coming, please. All right, good. So the first piece of news we'll look at today, this one here, about Barcelona and whether or not it can shake off its reputation as the bag-snatching capital, not only of Spain, but I think also of Europe. Unfortunately, Barcelona has a bit of a crime problem, as we can see here. Barcelona has unveiled a new plan to tackle crime over the summer as the number of tourists and crimes against tourists return to pre-pandemic levels. Under Operation Summer, the City Council announced that there will be 12% more police officers on the busiest streets than last year and tougher sentences against repeat robbers. The Catalonian capital is notoriously rife with pickpockets. In 2018, there were an average of 12 robberies an hour, according to Spain's Interior Ministry. The large drop-off in street robberies in 2021, plummeting by 56% compared to 2019, suggests the ebb in tourists was a big contributor. So there we go. Barcelona getting a bad reputation when it comes to street crime, bag snatching, pickpockets, and the like. And there were some images on the local news here recently of people walking down the street and getting their watches ripped off their wrists. So be careful if you are in a city like Barcelona over the summer months. If you're planning to go to a city like Barcelona, especially those main tourist areas there, be careful because, as we saw, crime is rife. But the government there, the local government, deciding that they're going to do something about it with Operation Summer, or Operación Verano. I imagine that's what it is. So street crime, a bit of a problem. We saw the problems at the Champions League game the other day in Paris. The amount of crime that was going on there, people getting their phones ripped out of their hands, walking to the ground. And unfortunately, street crime in some European cities, a real problem. So tourists, beware. Luckily, I've never been a victim of pickpocketing or other street crime like that, muggings, if you like. I've been lucky in that sense because I do look like a tourist when I walk down central Madrid, but I managed to avoid getting my phone stolen or my watch ripped off my wrist or my bag nicked. I've managed to avoid all of that, but I understand that crime, even in a city like Madrid and those central tourist areas around the Plaza Mayor and places like that, can be quite bad. So if you have been a victim of crime here in Spain in one of the big cities, one of the big tourist cities, please let us know in the chat section. We'll get some debate happening about that. Now we're up to 40 likes, not bad. There's 162 people watching. So again, hit that like button, up to 42. Good, let's go. Back into the chat section. What have we got going on here? Some of the usual faces. Roland coming in from Minneapolis in the States. Good to see you there, Roland. Alan coming in from Colorado in the 40s there. 40 degrees Fahrenheit, that is, at night. Libby coming in. Don't know where Libby's coming in from. Hello, Libby. Elaine coming in from New Jersey. Her T-shirt arrived today. Thank you very much for buying a T-shirt there, Elaine. Everything helps. Steve saying the cancellations are happening over the next 10 days. Mick coming in from Moreira. Jose Antonio from the Royal City. Castilla-La Mancha Day today. Congratulations celebrating your Castilla-La Mancha, Autonomous Community Day that would be. So a public holiday there, Jose Antonio, no doubt. Mark Chavez coming in from Seville, enjoying the content, much appreciated. Thank you very much, Mark, for enjoying the content, and plenty of action coming in here. Colin Oldestu, ¿qué tal? From Chester in the UK, Colin and Tracy. Alan's asking me if I have had a shave. Yes, that's right, Alan. I have shaved off the goatee. Pitbull coming in from Yorkshire. Hello, Pitbull. Yogi coming in from London, raining there today. Well, it can't have everything, Yogi, unfortunately. Good weather here in Spain, though. Pat coming in from Galicia. Hello, Stu. Hello, Pat. Second piece of news we're going to look at today. Spain detects irregularities in 22% of emergency health contracts awarding during the COVID pandemic. Spain's Accounts Tribunal has detected irregularities in over a fifth of the emergency contracts that were awarded by the Ministry of Health in 2020 during the COVID-19 health crisis. In the third of 8 reports the auditing body plans to issue about emergency contracting during the pandemic, it analysed 73 cases totalling more than 551 million euros. I'll repeat that figure, 551 million euros, and found irregularities in 11 of them. So there we go, 22% irregularities in these health contracts. And why do these irregularities happen? Well, basically it was because here in Spain, normally when government contracts are awarded, they are supposed to go to what they call here a concurso público, and you have to get a lot of documentation to put in. There's lots of rules and regulations, and of course during that state of alarm, apparently that wasn't needed. So local governments, autonomous community governments, central government was able to award contracts without going through that process, and of course people took advantage of it. And of course some of the big cases have come to light, one here in Madrid involving 2 businessmen. I'll put the word businessmen into inverted commas because they're not really businessmen, I don't think. They're just people that are looking to take advantage of public money. Plenty of people like that around. And that was in the millions, that case there, involving the local Madrid council. So I imagine that over the next 12 to 18 months, lots of these cases are going to come to light in various town halls around the country, in various regional governments around the country, and also at a central government level. I imagine lots of these stories are going to come to light about how public funds were not used appropriately. But anyway, what can we do? Now, back into the chat section here. Let's have a look what's going on. Steve-O coming in from Ireland. Hello, Steve-O, a regular here on the channel. Jerry coming in. Finally made it to a live stream from Oregon. Love what you do. Thanks, Jerry, for that. We've got somebody coming in from Auckland down there in Kiwi land. What's the time down there in New Zealand? I imagine if it's 7:44 here, it must be around the same in Auckland, I imagine. Is it Bonth Ball? Tell us what the time is down there in the land of the long white cloud. I think it's around 12 hours ahead, if I'm not mistaken. Let us know. We've got Mesa, Arizona, James. Hello, James. And Elanchobi, Matthew. Hot one today, wherever that is. Sounds like it must be in the Basque Country or somewhere like that. I don't know, but let us know where that place is. All right, good. Now, we'll go back into the third piece of news today. Don't forget to hit that like button. I'll say it again. We're up to 67 now, so it is up a little bit. 195 people watching, so hit the like button, please. Next piece of news. Inflation is entrenched in Spain. The same breakfast has risen 3 times as much as in France, twice as much as in Italy, and 30% more than in Germany. A white coffee and toast with butter and jam, tea and a slice of bread with olive oil and salt, orange juice and an omelette, and a bowl of milk and cereal. This breakfast, which could be that of an average family of 4 here in Spain, will cost 12% more today than a year ago if the family chosen, for example, is Spanish. This is 3 times more than the price increase for a French family, twice as much as for an Italian family, and 30% more than for a German household. So Spain and its inflation woes. The typical breakfast, 30% more now than in Germany, 3 times more than in France, and twice as much than in Italy. And that's basically where we are at the moment here in Spain. Everything is going up. And I'm sure it's not unique to Spain. I'm sure that the prices are going up around the world generally because of the supply chain problems that are causing this inflation, and also the war in Ukraine, the increase in fuel. But we'll have a look in a moment also about inflation. But serious problems here, and salaries are stuck. Prices are going up, salaries are stuck. That is the reality of the situation at the moment. And if you're going down and having breakfast, a piece of toast with a café con leche, you're paying more money than you were 1 year ago, 12% more. And I have noticed that on the bill. The other day I went for breakfast with the family, and prices had gone up around 40 cents since the last time I went. So, what can we do? Inflation is high. And I think we saw yesterday that was 8.7% up from last year, this same time last year here in Spain. So, inflationary woes. Now, what else we got going on? Okay, we've got somebody talking about chemtrails, so we'll get rid of that one there. Now, what else is going on? What else is happening here? Hiker Woody, Lloret del Mar, had all his possessions robbed, unfortunately, from that in Catalonia, I think. Lloret del Mar, tourist resort. Got to be careful in those places. Jose Antonio saying the problem was in Liverpool, not in Paris. Not what I saw, Jose Antonio. I saw on the news here in Spain that the Spanish commentators one of them was robbed on the way to the stadium. Apparently there were groups of violent youths, robbing people on their way to the stadium. So check that out, Jose Antonio. The problem might have been in Liverpool also with some problems, but there were huge problems around the Saint Denis Stadium, I think, where the game was held on Saturday, was it? Saturday evening? So check that out. Joan coming in from Switzerland. We've got a super chat from Julia. Hello, Julia. €20 or $20 super chat. Thank you very much. Very generous. Very appreciative of that, Julia. Thank you very much. 37 degrees in London, Ontario. Yeah, I was going to say not London, England, obviously, because we just saw that it's raining there. Ms. Lolly 45. So hot in Canada. What else we got going on? Pamela and Johnny's motorhome journeys. Hello from Ireland. Hello, guys. Hope you are well. And Matthew's saying that crime in Barcelona, as we saw before. Friends had their bags stolen from the car hire in Barcelona. They popped to the beach. They stupidly left their passports in the car too. Don't do that. Absolutely. You don't want to get your passport stolen. You don't want to get any of your documentation stolen. You don't want to get your cash stolen. But you got to be careful in those cities there, especially Barcelona, when you go to the beach, because that's where the thieves are waiting. They're waiting for tourists to leave their belongings on the beach when they go in for a swim, and bang, when they come out, they are gone. Hasta luego to your property. That's it. Rusty coming in from South Georgia. We've got Andrev coming in from Berlin. Where are all these thieves coming from? Don't know where they come from, Andrev, but people will have their opinions on where these thieves are coming from. Don't know whether they're locals or whether they are imported thieves, but a bit of a problem in cities like Barcelona at the moment with this. Anita saying that fabulous 6 weeks holiday in Spain, back in the UK now. Hope you had a good trip back. Grant Frank coming in from Asturias, a regular here, Grant Frank. Hello, I will be in Asturias shortly. I'm heading up there for a couple of days, looking to get some of that cooler Asturian weather, Grant Frank. So let us know some good places to see when I'm up in your part of the world. Last piece of news we're going to look at today, inflation again, dominating the headlines. Inflation takes its toll and Spain loses competitiveness against the euro again. It is possible to buy off some inflation by subsidising petrol, as the government has done, but it's much more difficult to prevent the rise in the CPI resulting from the increase in energy from being passed on to the productive system as a whole. And that is precisely what is happening in the Spanish economy. Core inflation, which removes the more volatile components, unprocessed foods and energy, has climbed to 4.9% in May, while the effects of the 20-cent subsidy on fuel purchases, 5 to be paid by the oil companies, run out. So there we go, the reality of inflation here. Core inflation, as we see there, removing the most volatile components, energy, prices and unprocessed food taken out of the equation, still sitting at 5% increase on this time last year. So what has the government got up its sleeve to try to combat inflation? I don't know, but they've got their own problems at the moment as well, the government. So this is just one of the many, many problems for the Spanish government at the moment. A couple more comments. What else is going on here? We've got Ray coming in from San Jose, California. San Jose. Do you know the way to San Jose? Anybody? Nico from Barcelona. Saludos. Yeah, Nico, give us an update on the crime situation there, whether it is as bad as the press is reporting. Let us know, Nico. Martin coming in from Aveiro in Portugal. Very nice place, Aveiro in Portugal, just south of Porto. Very nice little place with canals there on the coast. And what else we got? Pitbull. Is it true that if you stay in Spain for 3 months, you can't go back for 6 months? There is a 180-day rule, Pitbull. You're allowed to stay in Spain for 90 days during any 180. I think that is the rule. So that could be more or less right. But again, people will set us straight in the comment section, I am sure. No, 90 days out of 180. That's right. Yeah, well, 180 days is 6 months. So you're allowed to be in Spain for 90 out of every 180. So that must be 180 a year, I suppose, is it? I'm not sure, but we'll see what people tell us in the chat section. All right, great. Now, what else is going on here as far as the comments from yesterday's video are concerned? The first one we'll look at here from Alex P. Can anyone please explain to me why most Spanish are so reluctant to signal on roundabouts? They must have to do this so to pass the driving test. They all seem to signal when they are doing another maneuver, such as joining the motorway from a slip road, yet during one of the most risky moments on a roundabout, nope. Yes, Alex P. Now, I don't want to turn this into a Spanish drivers bashing session, but roundabouts can be frustrating here, especially because of that lack of indicator use, okay? And it does seem to be widespread. I'm seeing more and more people using indicators. Intermitentes is the word in Spanish, intermitentes. I'm seeing a lot more people using them lately, and I don't know whether it's just because I'm looking more. I always use them when I go into a roundabout, especially when I'm turning out of a roundabout, so people know my intention, and that's the purpose of indication at the end of the day, to show your intention of what you're going to do. But it is a big problem in some places, especially some of the bigger roundabouts, when you get some of these big roundabouts where people move through them very, very quickly, and you have to get in and off very quickly, that people do forget to use their flickers or indicators in the roundabout. But again, I don't think it's a problem that's unique to Spain, because in Portugal it's exactly the same. And in Portugal they actually have different rules for roundabouts, which I got caught out on a few times there, because apparently in Portugal you can only, if you go into a 2-lane roundabout, you can only be in the right side of the roundabout if you're going to take the first exit out. If you're going straight through or turning around, you have to be on the inside of the roundabout, whereas here in Spain, those rules don't apply. You can be in any part of the roundabout here in Spain to go around, but you must be in the outside lane of the roundabout to exit. So even if that's the third exit around, you can still be on the inside and then move into the outside to go off the roundabout, whereas in Portugal, you have to be obligatorily in the center of the roundabout, if that makes sense. I don't know whether I'm making sense or not. But the rules are different in Portugal when it comes to roundabout use. So keep that in mind if you are driving in both countries. Now back into the chat section here. My voice is giving way. It's a bit weak today for some reason. John loves Spain. Hi Stu, thanks for the informative content. Thanks John. Glad to see that you love Spain. What else we got going on here? We've got Lucy coming in from Ottawa. They're in Canada, capital of Canada, I believe, Ottawa. Hello, Lucy. 3 months out, says Martin, regarding the pitbull comment before, the 180 days. And Brian coming in here asking a question. Let's just have a look. Hi, Stuart. Just wondered, we stopped at Getafe on the way to our house at... Okay, so the comment's been cut off here. So if we can get back to that one... Brian, Getafe is a neighbouring outskirt suburb here in Madrid, just to the southwest of where I am. Not far away. All right, good. Now we'll go into the next comment here. I'm just going to have some water because my voice is giving way. 1 minute. Okay, hopefully that will help. From Ray, the high level of accidents in Spain is mostly due to two types of drivers. One respects speed limits and various signs, and you get drivers that the first group should be banned so they can go as fast as they want. So, this is turning into a Spanish drivers bashing session, unfortunately. I'll just put on the record that I don't think people here in Spain drive worse than in other countries that I've seen. We talked about this the other day. In Australia, people drive pretty badly as well. But here in Spain, you do get people that either go very fast and some people go a little bit too slow, in my opinion. That creates a bit of a problem, the two types of speeds. In Portugal, it's very evident. Get people going very slow and people going very fast, especially on some of those main roads in Portugal. And here in Spain, you're right, people do drive excessively fast, and it can be a little bit dangerous, especially when they're cutting in and out of the traffic as well. Every now and again, you get un flipado driving, and you see some crazy things on the road here. But again, I've seen crazy things on roads in different places that I have been to. So, we saw that yesterday, that they were talking about that Spain is in a permanent red light situation when it comes to the safety of roads, the quality of the roads, the age of cars, and also some of the other problems that are associated with accidents in this country. And it is true that there are some bad driving habits, but again, I have seen bad driving habits in many places around the world, but excessive speed can be a problem. Exactly right. All right, another comment here from Marilyn. The upside of Belgian immigration in Spain. I live in a rural area not far from Mojácar on the Mediterranean. We have an amazing bread delivery from a Belgian bakery in Mojácar. So there we go. We have also seen recently that this was a story in the press. I think it was in the UK press, that the Belgians are moving into where some of the British people that have been affected by Brexit, moving out, going back to the UK. Belgians are moving in. And somebody said yesterday, I think in Torrevieja, there's Belgian bars and Belgian cafes opening up. Belgian bakery down there in Mojácar that serves fantastic Belgian bread. So... every cloud has a silver lining, I suppose, as more people with different foods and different cultures move into these places as people move out. So I see it as a positive. I see it as a positive. All right, good. We've got this one here from Brian back. Hi, Stuart. We stopped at a place called Getafe on our way back from home to La Marina. Is it anywhere near where you live? Yeah, Brian, I mentioned before it's not far from where I live. Did you take the Valencian highway to Alicante? I suppose you did. Or did you go down to a place called Ocaña and then cut across? It depends the route that you took. But if you took the A3, the Mediterranean highway from Madrid, the A3 motorway, you would have passed through the suburb that I live in called Rivas Vacía Madrid. Getafe is further to the south. So that's basically where I am located here in Madrid on the Valencian highway. In fact, if I go up onto a hill here, I can see the traffic pass by. In fact, I think we saw it the other day when I did my walking video. The A3, the road that will take you to Alicante and Valencia. All right, good. Now, what else we got going on here? Carol, good evening from Aveiro. Another person from Aveiro. Popular place today, Portugal. Carol, hello. $12 for grapes. Lucy paid in Canada. It's a bit expensive for grapes. I wouldn't pay that much, I don't think. What else we got going on? Hi, Stu. Love Bun and Moo. Little, don't know what that one's going on about. Bunny, but anyway. Kyle, Alan says he got pickpocketed by the government. Yeah, fairly common as well. Liverpool Football Club lost, says Jose Antonio. Yeah, we know that they lost. If you live in Madrid, you know that Real Madrid did win. Everybody here will tell you that they won. The amount of celebrations that were going on Saturday were unbelievable. The amount of firecrackers going off and other things like that. Car horns beeping constantly. That was my Saturday night. All right, good. What else we got going on here? Grant says he will give me some advice on Asturias. Thank you very much, Grant. I'll wait for that. And Ken saying that he bought some board shorts in a surf shop in Bondi and had Silver waterproof pocket inside. Yeah, that's because obviously you can take your goods with you, put your keys in there or your money inside your swimmers or your bathers, Ken, so they don't get wet. Good. Next one from Sean. To rent a car through the bank, do you need to have a full-time job? Yeah, I suppose so, Sean, that you need to have some type of credit worthiness, as they say here in Spain. The bank needs to know that you have money to be able to pay for your car every month, which is what I do. It's this type of renting system that I have at the moment with my car. Belongs to the bank, and they just give it to me every month, and I pay a fee for it. And it's a 3-year contract, and after that 3-year contract, I just hand over the keys and take the car back to where I got it from, and away I go. I will be carless in 3 years' time. Not carless, carless in 3 years' time. And I'll have to get another one. So whether I buy a car in 3 years' time or not, I don't know. Or whether I get another one of these renting cars, as they call them here in Spain. Basically, it's leasing through the bank, okay? But here in Spain, the concept of leasing is a little bit different. So they call it renting. And it's a long-term rent, if you like, 3-4 years, or you can get longer if you like. And as I said, everything is included in that monthly price, so except for fuel, of course. So there's no maintenance costs. All of the insurance is included. If you need new tires, it's included as well. Basically, everything involving the car is included. The taxes as well included in that price. So you pay a fee every month with the VAT included, and away you go, basically. The only thing you have to pay for is petrol. And cleaning, of course, which is around €3 to clean the car every month or so. But those are the only costs associated with that thing. And the reason I decided to go for this option was that I wasn't sure what type of car to get. I didn't want to buy another diesel because diesels are public enemy number one at the moment. I didn't really want to buy long-term a gasoline or a petrol car because I don't know what the situation is. Here in a lot of Spanish cities, and it's going to get worse in the future, you can't drive into the center of many cities now if you have a certain type of vehicle. Diesel cars, you're banned from driving into the center, can't park easily. You have to go to a public parking and pay money. And it's getting very, very difficult to drive in some parts of Spanish cities nowadays. So I wasn't sure. I didn't want to buy an electric car because I'm not sure about the the amount of kilometers you can do with a single charge. So I didn't want to buy an electric car just yet. I wanted to wait for the technology to get a little bit better. So I chose this option, and 3 years' time, I'll be able to change if I can afford to get another car. That's the question. In 3 years' time, will I be able to afford another one? All right, good. What else is going on here in the chat section? Let's see if we can find something else. Talking about Barcelona, people getting robbed various times. Nico, thanks for your input there. Jerry was in Barcelona 3 weeks ago. No pickpockets. Had a great time. Yeah, depends. I think you have to be unlucky to become a victim of pickpocketing, but it is rife, as we saw, so it can happen. So always keep that in mind. And what else we got going on here? Anyone else seeing just the black screen right now, or is it something on my end? Don't know, Kyle. I'm seeing things more or less perfectly. So hopefully that's what you are seeing as well. I'll just go to the YouTube channel and see. Yep, I think it must be at your end, Kyle, because I can see myself relatively well. All right, good. Now, what else is going on here? The 180-day rule is explained by a few people there. Good to see. Now, we're up to 135 likes, 292 people watching. So if you haven't hit the like button yet, please do so, because the other day I was impressed by the amount of likes that the last live stream got. So we'll try to do the same if we can. So hit that like button just below the video. Not a difficult thing to do. You've got a dislike option there as well. If you don't like the video, hit the dislike button as well, or the like button preferably, and we'll see if we can get that up to around the 150 mark, 136 at the moment, if you can. Now, let's have a look at the last comment. It's also about renting cars. Could you talk more in depth about the system you are using for renting the car or using it for certain periods of times, please? Un saludo from Otto9. Well, I just explained more or less, Otto9, how the system works here. You go to the bank and you see what products they have regarding cars. Every bank normally has this similar system. There's also other companies that do it as well. There's a Dutch company, I think, called Aval, or maybe it's a French company. It belongs to Paribas, I think. And they're also big in that sector as well. And there's lots of cars on offer. And it's just basically finding one that suits your price range. I got a cheap option because I didn't want to spend a lot of money every month. But you can get Teslas, you can get BMWs, you can get Mercedes. You can get whatever type of car you want and just how much you're willing to pay every month, basically. So they range from 250 up to over the 1,000 mark. So you see people driving the more expensive cars. Companies are probably paying for those ones. And as I said, the majority of banks here, the big banks, have a similar system called renting de vehículos, or renting the coche. And a lot of car dealerships are also pushing this model as well. If you go to the local Volkswagen dealership, they'll be pushing this system as well. I think Ford is doing it as well. Opel, all of the car dealerships are also pushing this renting system. And I went down that line, check it out, see what it's like, and see if it's worth it at the end of the 3 years, or whether it's worth paying out a lot of money to have a car in your possession, basically, which is what I did a few years ago. So I'm just going down a different path at the moment to see if it is worth my while economically. And there's plenty of videos on the internet. If you go to YouTube and put in renting, ventajas y desventajas, you'll see lots of videos there that sort of weigh up the pros and cons of getting a vehicle like this. So, as I said, see if it's worth it for you or not to do so. Who that person was there, Otto9. So, again, it depends whether it is good for you or not. And the renting, you can also do it with computers. You can do it with other things for the office. There's lots of things now that they offer with this type of system. So you pay a monthly quota. You don't actually own it. You use it for 3 years, then you give it back. So a lot of companies, for example, prefer to do that than laying out the cash, especially when it comes to computers. You know, to buy a new iMac, you need to have around 2,000 euros cash. Or you can go through the renting system and get one and just pay it off every month. And for some people, it is advantageous to do that. All right, good. What else we got going on here? Any update from Nick, says Joan. Yeah, I spoke to Nick the other day. He was actually in the comment section the other day, Nick. So you might not have seen him there, Joan, but he was in the comment section now. He's recently become the president of his comunidad. So he's busy with all of the people that have problems with the water supply and other problems related to the comunidad. You know, maybe the grass is not cut short enough. Maybe the lawn's getting a bit brown in some certain areas. So Nick has to take care of that. So he's a busy man down there with his presidency of the comunidad. All right, now we're up to the 35-minute mark. 177 likes. So not going to hit the 200. Not going to hit the 200 mark, I don't think. So I'll keep going for another minute or so and see if we can get it up to the 200 mark. Hopefully that will be the case. One more chat. Let's see if I can get another chat out here. There's plenty of activity happening here, so it's difficult. Sukareva says he'd prefer to ride a motocicleta. Yeah, lots of motorcycles here in Spain. Sukareva, as you probably know, lots of motorcycles here. David says the picture is clear here, Kyle. So Kyle had some problems there. He's managed to figure it out. Still haven't seen what the time is in Auckland. I haven't been able to work that out yet. Maybe I'll have a look at that a little bit later. And people wishing Jose Antonio a feliz dia de Castilla-La Mancha. Feliz dia de Castilla-La Mancha. Do you celebrate anything specifically down there, Jose Antonio, or is it just was it a day that the comunidad was created, or what's the special occasion? Is it Quixote's birthday or something like that? What's the reason for the celebration? Let us know. All right, 185. I'm going to wrap it up. So it's been a pleasure, as always, speaking to you all today. Regular video out tomorrow. I hope you enjoyed this one. Great participation. I'm very happy at the way these live streams are going. Thank you very much for the participation in the chat section. 289 people watching. I think we got up to around the 300 mark. I'm very happy about that, as I said. I'll see you in the next one. Have a good day. Hasta luego.